This game, I don't know how much you guys have watched them yet, but just what you see from that game.
Well, I think, again, Penny has done a terrific job. He's got a lot of young players, obviously, that are very talented, and I think he's done a great job coaching those guys, because it's not easy when you have to start with as many young players as he's had. He certainly has a couple players back, but he's done a great job. He really has. They're a group of guys that play hard. They're going to make you handle the ball, and they do a lot of good things. And you look at their schedule, their wins, it tells you that he's done a great job with it.
How have they done just in terms of working around Wiseman's absence?
Well, I mean, they're definitely a different team. I mean, because you got a guy that's of that caliber, but I just think that I don't think they've missed a beat in terms of what they want to do and how they're going to play. And they, again, they're a talented group of guys that play with confidence and know what they're looking for, know what they're trying to do. But I mean, when he was in there, I mean, you look at his numbers, that speaks for itself.
Would you like to see this game played beyond next year?
Yeah, I think our deal, and I don't think there's any question, it's their situation too. You're going to build the schedule based on where your program is and the opportunities are out there. And I've said before, I don't know where it goes from here. I know this, we're playing them now. I think it's been good for everybody. I think it'll be good next year for us in Nashville. But as your schedule opportunities come up, you've got to look at and evaluate it. And I know this, that you can just tell in a short time the opportunities that Memphis has had with Penny being there and the team he's put together. I mean, they played a great schedule and will continue to do that. And I think that when you're involved in non-league contracts, it's all based on flexibility. And because you have opportunities that come up that may be once in a 4 or 5 year period that you've got to be able to work through. But again, I've got respect for Memphis and what they've done. And when we got here, one of the first things we wanted to do was when Tubby Smith and I started talking about it. It took us a while because of scheduling conflicts to get it together. And like we're working with our schedule now, and I'm sure they are too.
From Tennessee's perspective, what's the case for and against?
I don't know. There's a case for or against either way. I think I think they've got an outstanding program, and you have a chance to. There's a lot of really good basketball teams in this state, and there's no way we can play every team in the state. And we are the state university, and we have opportunities, just like I said. I think they do. I think other teams in the state do. And again, I'm not sure there's. If I could sit here and I've never even thought about it like that. We just look at our schedule, where we are, and do we need home games? Do we need to go on the road? Trying to balance it to make sure we get the right schedule here for our fan base, and a combination of home games, away games, neutral games, and it's not as easy as everybody thinks. It really is something that Mike Schwartz, who now has taken it over, there's something he does with our scheduling every single day. And I will tell you, there's probably every week he gets 10, 15 calls of people that want to play, and we call people, but it's hard to work it out because of prior commitments and things like that. It's not as easy as everybody thinks.
Coach, you've had 10 days in between games. What are you trying to get better at after the first 8? What have you got to improve?
I don't think there's anything we're not trying to get better at. I mean, you look at our team, and we try to get better as a team, but we really try to get better as individuals. I mean, we spend a lot of time with that. But obviously through this period, you've got exams, and that, like today, we've got a late practice today, waiting on guys to get out of the exams. We're going to have a couple guys coming in late, and we backed it up as far as we thought we could. And but again, you got to work around your exam schedule. But again, there's not one thing that we don't look at and see how that we can get better with.
How much have you talked to Penny, if at all, since early January when he made this comment?
We haven't talked, but that's not unusual. I mean, I knew Penny a little bit, from just being in Memphis recruiting and that, but that's not unusual. I mean, there's guys that we play. There's a lot of guys that we've already played that, like for instance, Mike Hopkins. I've known him for a long time, and I haven't had to talk to him before, after, unless we see him on the road recruiting. And I did not bump into Penny at any point in time on the road where we had a chance to talk or anything. But I just think people have tried to make something out of nothing. I mean, I've got great respect for what he has done, and I know what he means to Memphis and the program he's built there. And he's done a great job recruiting. He does a great job coaching his guys. But again, it's not like we cross paths a lot, because we don't.
What do you make of the idea that Memphis and Tennessee playing is good for the sport and the state?
Again, you're trying to get me to talk about things. I don't think about that. I don't. I told you. we're going to build a schedule based on where we are with our program and what we think about.
Saturday,
That's all I can answer.
Saturday, I believe the first sellout of the season, going to be a pretty kind of raucous environment at Thompson Bowling. What have you kind of told, especially your younger players, as they get ready for an atmosphere they really haven't experienced yet?
Well, they've been here, they've seen it. They know during the recruiting process, they saw what it was like, and they know. But being in it for the first time is something they're going to have to go through, and you know, it's going to be something that first time they've been in it, like you said. And but I think that's where you like to think your older guys are going to make sure they keep themselves emotionally ready, not really expend that emotion and lose energy because of it. But it should be a fun time. It should be a great atmosphere. I think it's great for college basketball. It's great for this state, and again, it goes back to our fans. I don't think there's a better fan base in the whole country, and you know, and if it won't be the last time that this building sold out this year, and that's what's been exciting about. One of the reasons being here has been so exciting because our fan base has really gotten behind these guys.
When you look at Jordan and Lamonte, you play games in Florida with VCU, Florida State, but the leadership-wise that you need for them to bring to the table, have you seen that in the past recent weeks in practice, and what are you looking forward for them heading into this big-time game Saturday?
They have. They've been great leaders. Really, you get back to the spring and summer, even when both of them were out because of nursing through some injuries that they had to get taken care of before the season really started. But those guys have given us great leadership, and I expect them to continue to do that all year.
You know, you're a guy who has been around this game for a long time, and you've played a lot of teams from a lot of different places, and so I guess you'd be a good person to ask this. Do you think that the average basketball fan maybe understands how many good basketball programs are in this state, and how much good Division I basketball is played inside the state of Tennessee?
I don't think so. I don't. Being here, I'm not sure there's a better basketball state in the country. I mean, I look at not only what goes on at the collegiate level. I've witnessed some really terrific high school coaches do a great job with their teams, but from a collegiate standpoint, this state has terrific coaches, and I said this a year ago. I mean, we've been able to have success. Memphis has had success, but there's other programs. What you talk about, Belmont, Lipscomb, and Middle Tennessee. You just keep naming them. I mean, East Tennessee State. I mean, teams that you look at them right now. There's a lot of teams in the state that's going to have a chance to get to postseason play. And on a national level, do I think people see it? I don't think they do, and they should recognize it because it's been good for a long time. It hadn't just been good. I mean, it's certainly every state goes through their ups and downs, but Tennessee, the state of Tennessee's had great basketball for a long time.
How do you think Lamonte's been hit on his shoulder injury that you talked about earlier in the season? How's that progressing in the last couple?
Well, he does everything he can every day. He does every day to do what he needs to do. I mean, it's something that he has dealt with, and he's doing what he can to manage it. And our hope is that it's going to continue to get better.
How do you talk to the guys that might not have the ball in their hand on every single possession? How do you talk to them about embracing their role, and when you need 25 from them in one night, you know, when to step into that? How do you handle that?
Well, I don't know if I've asked too many guys that we need 25 from them, you know, but that'd be nice. But you just want guys to embrace their role, and that's it. I mean, we talk about we want to play the way we practice. We believe that. We believe that we have competitive practices. We know what we're trying to get done, and they're like rehearsals. And we expect when the curtain comes up, we want to see guys do what they practice. And some nights it's going to be falling for them. It's not, but can they impact the game even when they're not making shots? That's a big key. And we don't want them to put all their thought process to where they think they play well all because of shot making, because you can affect the game in a lot of different ways. And it's really hard for young guys to realize that, but the older guys, I think they do understand that.
Coach, speaking of that, are you guys further along on defense right now than you thought with so many new faces?
You know, Rob, at times we are, you know, because, you know, we've got a couple guys I think that can really defend. I think there's not a better defender in the country than Eve Pons when he's locked in. I mean, very few guys can guard 1 through 5, and he can do that. And then we've got guys in the program that have been with us, but are younger guys. They're getting there. They're not there yet. And I think that I might probably be saying that to you a month from now, but pretty soon that we've got to all get there. But we are probably in some ways further along than you would think because of so many young guys. But we know that we've got to get better.
You've been doing this for a long time. Now. A game like this on Saturday, does it get the juices flowing in you? Do you get excited and any kind of nerves going into something like this?
Yeah, I mean, I get excited. I'm excited to go to practice right now. I mean, I really do. And I think, and I've told people before, you said I've been doing it a long time. If I ever get to where I'm not excited to go to practice first, that's when I know it's time to quit. And it's easy to be excited for games, and you get your juices flowing for that. But I think the real key, if you love what you're doing, is what you're doing every day. And so again, if I ever lose the fire to go to practice, I know it's time to stop.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.